Okay, so here's a prototype of the controller for the roof heaters. We'll plug it in. So what you have here is you've got the heaters on the right. The blue wire runs into the main control box. This is a switch that controls the 220 volts. That switch is controlled in turn by this switch, which runs on 120 volts, and that switch has three states. If you look at the button, it has hand off and on, hand off and automatic. Hand is manually on, O is off, and A is controlled by the microcontroller. And there's the microcontroller. Okay, so let's turn it on. Plug it in. Now we see the power's on to the circuit, and let's see, it should be coming on the computer. There it is, coming on the computer. The device name is CYURD005, and so it's sending its status to the server, which in turn sends it to the browser. Now the browser is telling us here that it's giving us two indications, a 1 and a 0. Well, that'll be turned into intelligence later, but that 1 and a 0 means that the device is on automatic. Now if I switch it off, I've switched it off, and I go back, and it's still 1 and 0. That's awesome. And if I switch it hand, no, okay, so now it takes a little while because it has to go to the server and come back. So now it's off, and so both of them are 1. Now if I turn it to hand, which is on, it's hardwired on, turning on that 220 volt switch. That should change that to 0-1. So 0-1 means that it's on. 1-1 means that it's off. But you wouldn't have to know this. This is just part of the test. So now I'll turn it back to automatic. I flipped the switch to automatic, so it flipped from 0-1 to 1-0. So now it's on automatic. So now the thing is being controlled by the relay. Well, it's off. This is off. There's no light on here. There's no light on here. And the relay is just showing green. So now let's turn it on. Turn it on by setting a schedule. This is just a general test site for this kind of component. So now I've set a schedule, and I've set a schedule that's going to be on for 55 seconds. This thing is timer 1. Its state is 1. So that should show up as this relay is now red, is turned on, which turns on the 120 volt relay, which turns on the 220 volt relay, and everything's running. After 55 seconds, this will go off, and it can be controlled however you want, but it's being controlled from this little microcontroller over Wi-Fi. Okay, so I'm setting it up in my shop. Here's the panel I'm using, and then I'm sticking it temporarily on the wall. The heating elements on the wall, the control panels underneath it, and the 220 breaker is the one with the white on it. It's got the neutral that goes to the neutral bar, and these wires are too light, but for 20 amps, but this heater isn't drawing very much power anyway. Okay, so back to see if it works. We've got the hand off automatic switch on off. If we turn it on, we should get this light on, and then this should heat up, which it does. Now let's see I can't show you the screen, but the screen right now says that it's on hand on the browser. So now I'll turn it off again. I'll turn it on to automatic. Automatic. It's on automatic, but it's off. It's not on. It's off. So now I'll go to the to the app on my phone and turn it on. Okay, now I use the app, turn it on, the relay is on, the 120 volt switch is on, and the 220 volt switch is on, and this thing's getting hot. This thing's getting hot. The breaker's fine. It's not blowing or anything. It seems to have no problem with it. And so I guess everything's working. Okay, let's start in the middle. So this box here represents V103, which is one of the relays. It's the 120 volt relay. On one side of it, it's got 3 wires coming out, a brown, a violet, and a gray. And those are the wires. That's the logic that tells me whether it's on, off, or on automatic. And that logic feeds into the microcontroller on 2 inputs. And on the other end of the microcontroller is a relay that goes out through a transistor and goes up and fires this relay, which ends up firing this is the relay on my board, and when it comes up and fires the V103 relay. Now, when the V103 relay fires, it in turn energizes the V320, the 220 volt relay, through this circuit, and then that pulls these on, which this is the 220 volts coming in from the breaker, and this is the heater on the other end going out. So it turns on the switch, connects the 220 volts coming in to the heater, and that's the whole story. Okay. So this system is live. It's running on the internet. It's running out of a server in Virginia, and it's part of a group of devices that are, like the 3rd version of the hardware and software. And you could have I could write you a little app so you could try controlling it, but it doesn't really, it's not a really big deal. It's hard for you to control something. I don't want to have the heater going on in my shop because it's dangerous. But anyway, we'll talk soon.